Oh, okay. So Mehdi Hassan was the example of the journalist who was doing quality work. Let's go over to Fox and Friends. And this is going to be the most meaningless piece of video that we show you today. But it is just too funny to watch the Fox and Friends try and get out there and do a nanny state piece. This is where, of course, somebody wants to tell you not to text when you're crossing the street because you could get hit by a car or run into somebody. Now, this is a
true.
Huge problem, particularly in New York City. I imagine it's a problem in other cities, but it's a huge problem here. Like, one, just walking, but like people running into bikes, people getting hit by cars. I mean, this is a huge problem. And like literally, if there was like an RFID chip or something I could implant in my daughter's hands so that when she was to step off a curb, it would like make her fingers freeze, I would do it.
It's another de Blasio
here is
failure.
Steve Doocy trying to do a segment on the nanny state, and it turns out he's I can't believe it. This is not one of those things that they're going to do again live.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
He might be discovering that there is a problem with people not paying attention to anything besides their
Yeah,
phones.
exactly. Here we go.
We've been watching all sorts of people walking by with their texting device. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello? Hello? Excuse me? Hi. Can I ask a question? It'll just take a second.
Okay.
I see you're walking through the crosswalk with your phone.
Yeah.
How often do you look at your phone with a text and things like that?
I try not to often.
You may be, going forward, you could get fined $250. Is that a bad idea? Or a good idea?
I really don't want to.
Okay. I don't think she's in a hurry to go to work. Okay, this guy right over here. Hi, how are you? Looking at this guy right here. See, he's using his phone through. Hi, excuse me, can I ask a question? Can you tell that New York City is a very busy place? It is indeed. All right, meanwhile, we got all these people, they're going to work. Keep in mind, if you're working in New York City at 9 o'clock, you got 20 minutes to go.
Right.
And so everybody's in a big hurry. Now, right over here, AJ.
Note to producer, don't
I'm
do
gonna
these
surprise him.
segments
I'm
at
gonna
this time. Here we go.
See if I can get his attention. Excuse me, sir. Hi. Excuse me. Can I ask you a question? Come on, let's go across the street.
Oh, I'm going to get hit by a car.
Now, all the people who are texting or looking at their phones could be subject to a $250 fine going forward.
Yeah,
but
you
it
said
looks
that already.
as if, so far, from the people on the streets of New York City, let's just talk to this guy. Hi, excuse me, can I ask you a question? Everybody.
What's the fine for harassing
Oh
commuters?
my God, no kidding.
God, no one wants to talk to Doocy. No one. I love it.
Doocy on the Lucy.
He's getting treated. And by the way, you shouldn't be mean to people trying to raise money for Amnesty International on the street. It's a nightmare job. Be nice to them and move by them quickly. But they're giving him you're trying to raise money for Amnesty International on the street treatment.
Honestly,
there isn't even like it's TV. None of the, it's just like, nope.
Yeah,
nope,
I mean,
nope.
if you see someone like Steve Doocy coming up to you, it's perfectly okay to go like, no, stop.
Oh, yes. If it's Doocy, do that.
Stand back.
Or go, you're aptly named. Have a good day.
I mean, the beauty of them trying to build this sort of nanny state segment around it, like where these people are really pissed at the idea that someone would tell them what to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Could you stop for 1 second? I need to.
Let me interrupt your day.
They can't decide because they've also done segments on how sad it is that everyone is always on their phones.
Right. Well, it's
okay when they do
teens, and they'll do a 45-minute segment a while back on teenagers who wear their pants too low. But the idea that you would actually impose some type of restriction on texting as you're walking through a street is highly problematic to them. And incidentally, we look at things like Vision Zero in this city, which was much maligned. But I can tell you right now, from my perspective, that people drive slower. They drive slower in New York City than they did 3 years ago. And
Why was it maligned? I mean, I'm not a De Blasio fan, but I don't understand.
oh,
what
it
the
was
problem-
road
much maligned.
safety
What was it
project?
again? Just because it was.
You're
going to
make us drive 25 miles an hour.
Right.
It's crazy.
Just
It's
that.
so hostile to cars.
Right. That's a good thing.
It's
You
a
should
good
be hostile to cars. Cars are
but
bad.
but
Cars
you
are
but you know,
coffins.
this is the way this trajectory. I mean, I don't know if you guys are too young to remember like the huge national issue. Not smoking in restaurants was even bigger, but buckling your seatbelt.
That's
When
pretty
those
disgusting.
laws got passed, Morton Downey Jr., who was the original like Rush Limbaugh character, he would do show after show on the infringement, the nanny state, making you buckle your seatbelts.
My grandma was affected by that. She had bad dreams about that she'd be in a car crash and wouldn't be able to get out because of seatbelts.
Right, that's what they were
Well,
telling
because what happens is you get trapped by the seatbelt and then you can't get out, and it's a
Right.
very bad thing. Because there's a lot of people, they might feel a little scared they were crashed, but then they can step outside. But then when you can't, then you die.
And remember, I mean, the cigarettes, smoking. Nobody. I mean, you don't hear anybody complain about that now. It's just like it's absurd when you go into a place. Only in Vegas is the only
I
place you
will
see people
say-
smoke inside.
Sean got very excited when we were in Miami and you could smoke in a bar.
Oh, there you go. And remember the 30 ounce slushies that became outlawed or whatever it was.
Oh, I was against that.
Yeah, the soda ban. I'd like to see the data now to see if that's had an impact, a positive impact or a negative one on some economic standpoint. Somebody must have done some research now.
Is that why sodas are 20 ounces here and not 24? Because I remember them being
I think so.
24 in North Dakota.
I think so.
Soda sommelier.
Let's go to the phones.